way to victory. I can be a champion if I just believe. I'm on a master quest. I want the whole world to see. I'm gonna be the very best. 'Cause all I've got to do is believe in me. No time to question my moves. I stick to the path that I choose. Me and my friends are gonna do it right. You'll never see us run away from a fight. To be a master is my dream. All I've got to do is believe. I've got a chance to win. I'm on my way to victory. I can be a champion if I just believe. I'm on a master quest. I want the whole world to see. I'm gonna be the very best. 'Cause all I've got to do is believe in me. I believe. I'm on a master quest. I want the whole world to see. No time to question my moves. I stick to the path that I choose. Me and my friends are gonna do it right. You'll never see us run away from a fight. I believe I've got a chance to win. I'm on my way to victory. I can be a champion if I just believe. I'm on a master quest. I want the whole world to see. I'm gonna be the very best. 'Cause all I've got to do is believe in me. No time to question my moves. I stick to the path that I choose. Me and my friends are gonna do it right. You'll never see us run away from a fight. To be a master is my dream. All I've got to do is believe. I've got a chance to win. I'm on my way to victory. I can be a champion if I just believe. I'm on a master quest. I want the whole world to see. I'm gonna be the very best. 'Cause all I've got to do is believe in me.
So, God, it's going on. Not really a good thing. But yeah, looking at what streams are, you're gonna have to reload pretty much all the time. If you want more of my streams to happen a lot more often. Because it's this or wait to a massive one for when I have an early shift to a late one, which is coming up this week, but this is the only way to be able to have more consistent streams. currently, if you look at work, I don't know if you're able to see on the schedule, because I don't know if Twitch is going to be like, well, you are streaming, but we're not going to allow any viewers to look at the schedule. But essentially, I do have plans to stream tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. I have none for Monday and Tuesday, was it? Monday? Well, no, Wednesday actually. Wednesday is the day. And so yeah, there's none for Monday or Tuesday, but there is Wednesday. From 9 PM is going to be a massive one. Or 7 days. I think I'm going to be able to do it for the rest of the day to my knowledge, because I'm going to be likely going to have to get up early on the Friday or something. But yeah. But then, now, we're playing Pokemon Yellow. Why specifically? Well, I have a video in mind I really want to make, and I need footage for it, and this is the best way of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I just kind of hope it all comes through. Oh, it's definitely going to look quite funky, but we'll try and make do and Tangular survive the purge. Because yeah, below us we have the Pokeballs for showcasing what Pokemon we have at what time. And I didn't press it at the right time. Right, spawn for fast. Yep. No, that's better, because I don't think that changes that, just changes it for me. But pretty much what we're going to do, well, what I'm going to do is state that some changes have been made to the game. You'll notice very early on what one of them is. And that's because Pokemon Yellow are one of a few games that happen to leave out atypical stars. I know Pikachu technically counts as one, but Pikachu is not one of the 3 main types of grass, fire, and water. And because this game does like to follow the anime, while you can get a Bulbasaur in the game, you do have to use a Pikachu. Because it has to be like of a certain friendship level, I'm pretty sure. Which also means that by the time you get to the Bulbasaur, you are already 1 gym deep, ready to go into a second. And that's enough of a game to make me think, no. But it's not like I can get any other grass type before Brock to justify like leaving it as Pikachu. It's just you can't get any until Mount Moon in Paris, but even then Paris isn't good at all. I don't know if I'm looking down too much, but it's pretty much the starter has had to be changed just so we can even start with a grass type. What I do for any other type, I change, well, what I would normally do is either change it to the earliest one, or at least one that would make earliest one / one that made sense, because if it's a starter type, or at least a Pokemon that becomes a type, i.e. ground or Torterra's sake, then yes, you can just make it so that you choose Turtwig. But if it's, there is also the option of using a mon that's normally only available late game early on, because then you get to make the most use out of it, and this is more for fun and seriousness. It's not like a hardcore Nuzlocke anything like that. So, which is why I was fine when I did white flying types and started with a Volleyball, because A, you can't even get in that game, and B, that would normally be pretty much right before the Elite Four itself. So there's that. Luckily in this game there's no such thing, and also there's no trade evolutions for grass types in this game. There would be if I was doing Gen 2, but kind of. No, I think no, there's none. But more, we also don't have to worry about Virgin exclusives. The only grass Virgin exclusives concern Victory Bell and Vileplume, and in yellow, you can get both. We don't have to worry about that at all. So let's just head straight in. Yes, hello, Professor Oak, in all of your yellow, red, and white glory. The Prof. The Prophet? And not the Professor? There wasn't enough text. Yeah, you can tell it's been randomized, so we'll give it away. Rival views. Putting the energy right on, you know, the first Pokemon ever designed. Which I guess is why they use a similar design for Nido King and Nido Queen. I need to eat something. Oh yeah, because of this being Gen 1 and still being before Crystal, there's no options for Gen 2. Well, technically there was one option and you're forced into it. How about we just be really fucking funny and just choose a character's name that, no matter how you look at it, it can be considered to be confusing. Mainly because it really is just based off of the games that were made at the time. Being as Japan had red and green, and everyone else got red and blue. Because I guess they really thought that the Westerners were gonna like Blastoise more than Venusaur? Or was it in the case of they saw how much red was selling a lot more than green? Then again, their own fault, because kids at the time obviously were gonna be liking Charizard a lot more than Venusaur. So I hope that the game audio is loud enough. Because otherwise it's going to end up being a bit too loud for me. Especially when it gets really high pitched. Yeah, we're going to get the potion. For a game that's called Yellow, I'm not seeing any yellow in here at all. And yeah, we can just completely ignore our mother. I'm seeing more purple and greens. Oh my god, no! How dare you stop me? Oh, Guava wanted to meet the Pokemon. Or Guava thought I had a chance to not in that one stretch of grass. Just turned around and got the encounter. Oh, that cry did not change. Ah. But yes, we have our change of the Pikachu to Bulbasaur, just so we can restart with a grass type. Phew. Pokemon can have any time in full grass. You need your own Pokemon for your protection. Dude, I'm just gonna... Can I lower it in here? We can keep it like that. If anyone says anything, then I'll change it. Come on, man. How we didn't get any time to in that last bit, I don't know. No, I've been enjoying going. I'm seeing way too much purple. Including the Pokeball that it's just a purple Pokeball that's not even the Master Ball. That's odd. I guess I can just turn it down like that, but then that doesn't everything down. David caught a Pokemon, hold the Pokemon inside. May have it go and take it. It would have been really funny if for this it showed 3, but the other 2 had already been taken. Like it, well, no, in the anime it's all 3, and like Oak didn't say anything. Just wanted to troll them pretty much. I mean, oh yeah, you have your own. Yes, funny how you get the mon that can change into 3 different Pokemon, and I'm stuck with a Pokemon that can't evolve at all. Because in this game, Pikachu can't evolve into Raichu not through normal means because it's the anime. Also, important piece of business coming up concerning the rival. Where we are needing to win this fight and the side one on right 22. That's so that he has Flareon, which is actually going to be the hardest one for us, and normally that's just a middle option. But you know, it's better than having it so that it's Vaporeon for us losing. Which actually is really impressive. Where what, we don't even choose that one. I didn't remember that part. No, I agree, I want this Pokemon. And it plays a happy jingle, even though I just lost a mon. How dare you? I'm gonna give you one away, Green, come over here. Rude! That's arguably even worse than him choosing the starter that's strong against yours. Well, I got earlier, and let's see if you can have it. Oh, I know. What do we be naming our Bulbasaur though? Do we go with Bulbus? Or Saurus? Bulbasaurus. I like Saurus. And I think in this game there is no... Is there a name rating at all? Did they keep that? Like... Is he still in Lavender? Like, you know, the ghost town? I know he's in the remakes, but I don't know if they ever did put one here. Okay, so... Bulbasaur looks very different to how he used to. Doesn't help that even though they changed a lot of the front, well, all of the front sprites for yellow version, they didn't change any of the ones for the back. I'm not even joking about that. So any back sprites that look horrible, like Venusaur, are unchanged. The front sprite looks great. Like, none of all ones in yellow end up doing so. It's just the back sprites that they didn't want to fix for some reason. And if you really want to, you can look on there. No, find a website that you just put that information in to see how good of a Bulbasaur that is. That's not going to matter much. Because whatever the first one is, it's the first one that we get so that we can speed things along. We're not having to worry about natures or abilities. None of that whatsoever. No, that's... Yeah, it's better. Just tackling ground and no attacking grass moving to level 13. Let's check out the one. So yes, this really just becomes a game of spamming A. Oh, critical hit right off the start. Oh, yeah, there's more evidence of the backbite for Bulbasaur's Unchanged than that Eevee. He's new. If you've ever seen what Eevee did used to look like, and what the fuck? Down to 11 HP. I lost the first one. No, I'm not having that game, no. My defense is just that weak. Oh, I didn't actually. What? I didn't save after getting the Bulbasaur. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Right, fine then. You can scrap that one, and this one's actually going to be the new one now. Is it going to be any different? Because I saw like 3 10s and a 12. $11, $10, $11, $13, so that's all better actually. Right, let's actually go into this fight and not lose. Because you want to find a website to just put those stats in, see how good of a Bulbasaur we have. Of 11, 10, 11, 13. I am not faster. The problem is that it does that much. Oh, that'll be why, because it just spammed. Whip. Yeah, I don't like that animation for crowd. It's not really attuned. Am I gonna be able to survive anymore? Oh wait, no, it's feet tie actually. Let's use my one potion because of the setup I really want to do. The fact that it's actually worse than this with no abilities, because actually no, Overgrowth wouldn't even help. I don't have a grass move to use. But we got it. And I wish there was like a level bar right there, but Gen 1 doesn't have that. Gen 2 does, and it has it going the other way to how every other game does now. It's weird that they had all that stuff for Gen 2 and then Gen 3 is like, this is the norm now. Because they even did that with like layout for like the options. Because they swapped Pokemon and the bag slots. Oh. Well, yeah, it's definitely a bit weird. The code didn't exactly change it. But it does also show that I want to know it to be seen. It doesn't mean any special interactions that happen with Pikachu are not going to be shown at all. It's a bit hard to do that. Ah. But we did level up. And we do need at least an extra level if we are going to be getting Leech Seed. Level 7. Okay, I'm seeing the KPPS is very wildly because I've seen 2,000, 5,000, 1 point, so like 10,000. Man, I know Rattata is not exactly the prettiest of Pokemon, but why is it the wrong color? Why is it so ugly? Oh, level 7 actually, that was fast. I had it with 97. Then yeah, that's what, 30 more than what you normally get from a starter? Hey, early game potion, even though we already had to use ours. So Pokemon Yellow definitely changed a lot. It's kind of funny that it is the only game of the series to focus more on the anime side of things. I know that they occasionally have like references, but not on the level of it feeling like you are playing through the game version of an anime, of the anime. But it's still being weird because it's not like you're traveling with Misty or Brock at all. And it's not like you can only do quest lines if you have specific Pokemon. And again, it was on the Game Boy / Color, because I think by the time it did get released in Western markets, the color was out, which is why I was just bundled with it. No doubt if they ever remade Yellow. Oh wait, they already kind of did with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. But that was for a completely different crowd. But if they were to ever do that, I feel like at that point you just would want to play Ash Gray, which is much more like the anime. And there's a ROM hack, and I remember playing it a bit back in the day. I don't know if it's had many more updates or different versions at least. I know. But I think at one point you just could get stuck in it. I don't know. Nor do I know if there were ever like versions of Ash Gray for the other regions. Because what was actually nice about it is that you could make it your own. Like you did not have to just get the mons that Ash chose. Okay, Pikachu's still there. But the other 5, to my knowledge, you could just choose. So arguably what you could do is just use the mons that Ash had at one point and then just forgot about. Because I'm pretty sure Pidgeot's on that list. Butterfree. Primeape. Haunter. Yeah, we're just getting our Pokédex. It's not really high tech. Well, this version, anyways. I mean, like I said, they were limited by code. And how small of a game the Game Boy games were. Cartridges, you know, because the 9s were decently large. And as the DS ones are a lot smaller, even the Switch ones. But I will have to admit, it was really nice for the first 3 gens to have the cartridges actually be coloured what colour they are meant to be. I don't know why after Emerald they just stopped that completely. Like, no doubt because of the cartridges they ended up using for gens or onwards likely could not do that, even though there were often ones that were grey, black, and then they had white ones specifically for the 3DS. So I feel like they absolutely could have done different colours. Or not, it would have just been a different colour of paint. Or plastic, whichever one they were wanting to go for. I'm on the opinion of it could have absolutely been possible. I don't think they ever did that for the spin-offs. I don't think so. Mystery Dungeon and the like. Did they do it for Red Rescue Team? Or GBA one? I don't know actually. I know if the older ones are like, I'm pretty sure Pinball, and then the Ruby and Sapphire version of Pinball. I don't think there were that many. Like handheld spin-offs and stuff. Like Pinball would be the main one. But most of the time the spin-offs would just put onto the home consoles, which weren't gonna have it anyways. Yeah, there's Nurse Joy and a Chansey. Right. Because Blissey did not exist yet. Oh yeah, is that the tradesperson immediately? Well, let us go over this way. And especially, you know, up here as well, so that we can get an item that's somehow in the tree. Doesn't make any sense. But it's there. There's another potion. Still yet to see much of the yellow that I was promised. I'm just seeing every colour bar that. Ding, ding. I'm too used to the Infinite Fusion version of this, where there's like at least 2 trainers on this route. The fact that there's none and also there's nothing up there, it's odd to me. Also did notice the exclamation mark come up and he was facing down because that's his default position and there was no disguising it. Odd. Yeah, he can't even get through. And yes, we have to do defeat. Do we actually? Oh. I could have actually been talking out of my arse. No, actually, we don't need to do this. We can skip him entirely. Flareon is only for the lap win. Cool. I didn't ignore it and I thought I had to find it. Again, that's how you get Jolteon. Which actually would be really beneficial for us if that was the case, because not only do we resist electric, but at least one of our members can get Earthquake. And yes, they made it so that it's required while he immediately talks to you, so that you can't even attempt to do the missing no glitch. Because clearly it was the case that they knew about it. And this isn't free, so it's not a possibility for it to be a shiny Beetle out of nowhere. But it's really funny he can't fuck that up, because he's trying to catch a Pokemon at full health with a Pokeball. I've done that enough times to know that that's not likely to happen. Also, if this was Red and Green, he would be drunk. I'm talking shit that most people watching this already know. There's always that one person that just does not know. And despite this being Viridian Forest and everything, you actively cannot get a Paris in this game until Mount Moon. I know that makes sense because Nocturnal and that. But seriously, just Mount Moon and the Safari Zone. He's available! in like Ilex 5 when you get to Gen 2. But for whatever reason, when it comes to Gen 1, even in the remakes, just Mount Moon and Safaris. Even available in like the Great Marsh and everything. What? Oh, it's not even available in Black to White 2 at all? Oh yeah, just Mount Moon has opportunity because the Safaris doesn't exist. But yes, that is extremely harsh. They have a lot of, well, 2 sets of bugs in here. But they didn't want to put Parath in. Is that because it'd be too early? Like, why would be the reason? I don't know. It would actually be kind of helpful because if you didn't pick Bulbasaur in the original games, then at least you have another option of a grass type. Even if the grass part of it is barely used, but it's still used more than the bug type. Yeah, how about, let's try and find the items and then do this the speedrun way where you don't fight anything until the end. Because you can just defeat Brock with Leech Seed. Because you just gain that much health and they can't do much to you. I can just about see where the flowers are. Because I think that also means that no encounters can spawn on them. Initially looking on the videos like, how the fuck are you meant to see? But actually seeing it on a different screen, all I can bloody see it. Yeah, I don't think he does turn that way, but I like forced to face him. I'm gonna put up poison. Because until Gen 7, Bulbasaur was like the only starter that had the secondary type off the start. No. Huh. Every other game you would have had to fight. Glad we don't have to worry about shinies at all. Going back. Speaking of shinies, I did very, like, not that long ago, when I was playing Pokemon Infinite Fusion again, I managed to just happen to find a shiny Psyduck, which is a shiny mon that I've actively wanted to have for a while, properly. I mean, I managed to get a shiny Golduck that was just a Golduck, because it wasn't even found as a Psyduck. So that was really nice, because I do love a shiny Psyduck. I don't know why they made Golduck but they did and make Psyduck look amazing. They could have honestly just had Golduck, shiny Golduck, be Psyduck's colors. Always be like a darker yellow? Because if they're gonna have like shiny Psyduck be lighter blue compared to Golduck, they could do like pretty much the same, the opposite trick. Oh, come on, dude, the flowers not work for this? Or was that just more bullshit? Yeah, it seems like a bit of bullshit. See? It's clearly just a red and blue thing, is what I'm gonna have to say. I don't understand why they stopped doing like third versions after White 2 White 2. Because they like they did that as a last hurrah in the form of direct sequels, rather than just like improved versions of the original 2 and split them to try and maximize profits as much as possible. I absolutely understand after that why the third version would not want this not brought back, because they were originally going to do great, I think. I was actually on the cards, it wasn't just a joke, and it was going to act like the older ones, and then realized there's so much more we can do here. I didn't mean to do that. Like, yes, they're always gonna sell less than the original 2 because the original 2 would be the first game of the new region, new games, and often, not often, but a lot of the time the newer hardware. That kind of was the case until Gen 5, where the DS just went on for so long. I mean, partly because, well, yeah, it came out like the year before the 3DS came out, and even then, Black and White 2, they came out was the 3DS was a thing, so almost every generation, like, it just, yeah, it's 5 and 7 on like were for a time the only ones where they would release on the newest hardware. Kind of, because I guess Gen 1 it was the first, and by that point the Game Boy was pretty much a decade old near enough. Well, that did nothing. That really did nothing. Try and just file it down. Well, no, nowadays, what would they? What? No, they just replace third versions with DLC that I have never experienced. Because a lot of time with the newer stuff, now it's critical, of course it was. Well, especially if you go from Gen 8, it's like, don't know how much of the main game I probably did complete. I know it got like as far as doing the Delta episode equivalent, but I don't know if I completed that. I know I didn't complete the Dex, and often I wouldn't because like what Gen 7 was the best game to do that with. Surprisingly, it was the easiest for me. Yeah, it could be considered to be like fun in a way, because they are just out there in the wild. So you're less likely having to deal with random encounters. Sort of some, but I just didn't. And then even for games that didn't feature them, like Legend of Arceus, I just didn't finish it because I didn't get far enough. But I had way too high expectations for that game. I think it was going to be the best Pokemon game of all time, and they decided to get rid of abilities, but keep Regigigas one. And then also there was no Beta Arceus anywhere, to my knowledge. Would have been really cool to reference an old version of Arceus that has been redone and made to be really amazing. Now according to the fan of lore, that's what he originally looked like. Or it. Whichever one, well, what god in the universe used to look like. It's not about it. I've also just never been in because I never felt like I wanted to. I have said at this point that if I can sort out a way so that I can play the Switch games on a monitor like right in front of me, like through here, if I can sort that out, because I have the box for it, I do not fully know if I have like a way to, well, if I have all the cables for, I have the box. Don't know if I'm able to get all of these sufficient cables and find a way to actively do it, because then I'll just play it in console mode all the time. Because trying to play in handheld mode on like on a regional Switch, not recommend, because it takes way too fucking long to charge up, and even when it is fully charged, the battery is gone like that. Because I never got like a Switch 2 or an OLED. And also, I didn't get a Switch 2, mainly because if I was going to get it, I was going to pre-order it with Legends ZA. But because ZA would only be a download code, I didn't do that. One of these not an iron? Am I thinking of the remakes here? I think I am actually. Oh god. But yes, let's just yeah, I guess I should get some more potions just in case. I have the money, so it's not like I've spent my money on anything else. And some more Pokeballs, because I'm going to be needing a decent amount of them in the future. Well, especially when once, like, right, I'm pretty sure, right before the Cerulean Gym, I can have 4 team members at my disposal. And does Brock? Yes, he still has 1 train, which I'm fine with. Fine. If it means I can try and make it so that I can get fine with, like, within the middle of Brock's fight, that's fine. Because then it will be slightly faster. Hi Diggler, you're not a wrong type, now are you? But you are higher level than me. And I'm gonna have to lower that scratch as much as I can. I haven't got much of a choice. Really, I'm wondering, like, out of all the remaining Gen 1 Pokemon left, are there any that Game Freak actively would want to cover, like to have new forms of in any way? But because they don't want to pay fan artists, they don't want to do it, because that's kind of why we've had no new evolutions. At least that seems like it's a go inferior right now. Which, really? Well, do they happen to design something very, very similar to a fan design and not think trying license what out? Because surely that means that either the artist studied so well that even the artists within the company making the new designs managed to make something very similar. I mean, so similar that they could be like that fan stuff has been passed for the real thing. They didn't think, wow, they're so talented, getting them on board to design the rest of them. Because a lot of other companies end up doing that. But I guess Nintendo is one of them where no. It's not even really mostly Nintendo, because still what creatures think in Game Freak. At least realistically. So who knows which part of it is the side saying no, we don't want to hire any fan artists, we don't want to license them. Even though it's 2026, and it's the only way we're going to be able to get new evolutions out. Because yes, I would like an evolution for every single type, but we can't do that. Could have very easily had one for Gens 7, 8, and 9. Unless they just give us all of them in one go for Gen 10. Which is still a scary prospect, the further one to Gen 10. It was already scary having over 1,000 Pokemon. But now the fact that it's up to Generation 10. Doesn't really help that a lot of people end up being in a position that I was in, where, you know, they grew up with it, and now that past the point of growing up with it, it just feels like it's gone faster, even though it hasn't. It's just that because we're not kids anymore, and we're doing a lot of other stuff, it feels like it's going, oh, come on! How was I gonna expect a critical hit right there? I'm just gonna... I'm pretty sure I did save. have made the most logical sense for me to save right before him. But what? Did that have to happen there? Yes, I did actually. Like, really? Like, I know critical hits are based on speed in Gen 1, but and I wasn't getting one at any point. And then again, most of my team is not going to be fast, so do not be expecting any crit machines. I mean, I know Venusaur can have some decent amount of speed, surprisingly, but not Persian fast. And even ones, well, I think Victory Bell has some 70 and the Valkyrie has less. And also, well, Victory Bell has Razor Leaf. So yeah, it's just gonna get crit in every time with that move. Oh, another one! I know it's Diglett. Seriously? This is insane. Another one, back to back. And okay, the lead seed is not as good in the lane. I'm telling you now. That's three in a row. What are the chances of that? Okay, good, it was not a fourth. Because I only get 1 HP back, which is the worst part. It's like, I don't know what they did to like increase it for layer in the layer games, but it's a lot more than just 1. I guess that's why they made it so that you get it later on compared to this game where you get it at 7. Because in this game it's not as brutal as you think, because it's not even a trapping move at all. So it's not as bad as it absolutely could be. If it was like an actual trapping move, then that would be awful. Especially because trapping moves in this game stop you from doing anything, not even a case of just swapping out. Just nothing. And it's a good thing they changed that, because Wrap, Bind, and Fire Spin are just completely broken. Because you're just going to sit there forever, especially if the AI ends up doing it. And that's a critical hit. Why? One more growl, and then we can go back to the tackles. Only the defense is high enough that my tackles barely scratch the surface of Rock Climber. I do be liking the spray of Sandshrew in this. I mean, I did kind of like it in red and blue. But now the extra colour looks a whole lot better. Stone isn't really the same colour because that's more brown. And he's more of a yellow. Like more of an off yellow, closer to sand than bright yellow. But I know they're limited by colours, and I think they could only really have 3. Which kind of is shown there. I'm seeing black, which is just the absence of colour. Dark green, light green, and I think white in this case is no space at all. Because I really do not think white green counts as a colour in sprites. Is often just a gap filler to add extra shine to it. Models, yes, but not sprites. And That fight was a lot harder than I was wanting it to be. Oh, good God. We are definitely going to be able to get Paris. And when I said 2 hours, well, the schedule has been for 2 hours. That's most likely going to end up being when it hits 2 hours recording time. So another hour, 15 minutes, essentially. No antidote for me just yet. Actually, when half my team are going to be grassing poison and the rest are like, well, one's quad weak to poison, one is super effective against it but still weak, and the other's just weak. You don't like Brock at all, what do you mean? I'm wrong, I'm Pugh's gym leader. I believe in rock hard defense and determination. That's why my Pokemon are all the vote. You still want to challenge me? I don't think your text even changed from red and blue. Fine then, show me your best. I know they have to change one piece of text from a gym trainer in the psychic gym. Because originally it said ghosts and bugs, but because Ghost isn't super effective against Psychic in Gen 1. They did have to change it because I don't think they could change the code outright because it still had to connect properly with Red and Blue. I don't like this music, I just wish it was not just the music for which I don't think it's even the one used for the 4 music outside of Lance. Like, I think made different ones for the 4 music, which eventually Gen 3. Yeah, but even the remakes didn't really do that. Because with how slow Geodude can be, the crit, I will know that should be really unlikely and not Iglet speed. Of course, I say that, but if the game's wanting to curse me, and just throw a critical hit out of nowhere like that, then I can't do any more. Okay, I can use one more growl at a -6. Still doing 2 damage. That's not good. Did nothing. Now prepare for really slow fires, like regain 1 hit point every time I get hit. Unless a critical hit comes along and just completely ignores that. Oh, we're down into the yellow zone! I'm expecting the potion, unless he doesn't have any and still has 5 full heals per Pokemon, which... Why do they consider that to be a thing? Because you can't get 4 heals in this game until, like, what, past the 3rd or 4th gym? And Brock just has 5 of them. For each mon. And for this game, that is expensive, because they're normally like 300 a pop. Like, I want to say. Or a bit more. But expensive at this point in the game, and Brock just is casually collecting them. Which is also annoying. Because you can get neither a male and female this early in this game. Well, like before this gym. So if you were trying to like poison the opponent, it doesn't matter. Or even I think paralysis, because I don't know if they made it so that Ground types were immune to being paralyzed yet. Well, I know it wasn't until like Gen 6 that made this electric type couldn't be paralyzed. But that was really funny that it was the only type that was not immune to its own status. And yet the other ones were. Still no Violet. Yeah, I wish it was after every turn, but it's only after I get hit. See, this is one thing man say improve upon afterwards. Because it's like, it's a great groundwork, I'll give it that, but there is so much it could improve upon, and that was a critical hit. Does that mean every successive hit is now a critical hit? I want to say it is, it's just that it won't recognize it. Well, at least I slowly heal myself for 2 this time instead of just 1, and he's faster than me, meaning I have no chance. Because if I don't succeed in this attempt, then I am just gonna go into the forest and find some more trainers. Because I know I was rushing it, but that's because normally it's not so bad right at the beginning. Also, this t-shirt is meant to be a light blue and is not grey, even if that's what it shows on screen. Because I'm just seeing it, and yeah. That's not good. I didn't want to be screeched. Is it gonna matter much? Oh no, it actually is. But no, I am low in int attack, so not as much, but... Oh yeah, if you're just wanting to do that, I can just growl at you. Well, it looks like Onyx is very much going to be dead in the next move. There we go. Took forever, but we got there. Just to get to level 12 and not even 13. Shit. So that damage is possible, it's just really slow. I don't know who I'm gonna give Flash to. Maybe Tangler? Because I feel like Tangler isn't gonna actively be used as a team member. Not really. Because anything it can do, pretty much every other mon can do much better. It may have 100 special, but it actively trying to learn grass moves or any special moves in general is very difficult. But this is before tank growth, and before they made any strides to make it better. It's even before Giga Drain's a thing. They did make some attempts at changes in this game, mainly making it so that you have constraint. But you know, they did make it worse, because originally in Red and Blue, you could get constrict and bind at level 1. And now in Yellow, it's constrict at 1 and nothing until level 24 for bind. Which, yes, overall bind is better than constrict, but it's a normal move at 15 base power. It doesn't get anything again until level 27 for Absorb, 29 for Poison, for Fine Whip. Why they couldn't just put all of the moves like 10 levels earlier, I don't know. Okay, yeah, it gives the powder moves and Sun's Fall, but it's 32 through to 39. And doesn't learn any other grass moves. I mean, it gets Mega Drain and Solar Beam, but doesn't get Razor Leaf at all. And this is way before Power Whip is a thing, so yeah, no, completely useless. Not even a ground move, no Earthquake, or even Dig, really. They're one of the worst Pokemon to bloody use. But really, Gen 2 had no move reminder at all? Or like a move reminder. Wow, so why is it mentioned in it then? God has moved the temple, so yeah, Angular is going to be on the team as support. Wait, no, not even as good support, because it can only learn the HM for cut, not even flash. Oh, good God. I think arguably Venusaur wasn't far off, because I don't think it could learn strength in this game. Like, there are just so many baffling choices for moves. I know that they did base it off like when you could capture the Pokemon in the first place. So the reason that's why a lot of Pokemon have like one move at level 1 and don't learn anything until like mid-20s or something, or late 20s. Because in the game of when you would normally get them, then having the one move and then take only a couple levels to learn another move would be fine. They just were not expecting anyone to swap starters at any point. Also, I don't know who has the birds or not. Well, if it's a Pidgey, I don't have to worry. If it is a Spearow though, I'm gonna fear for my life. See, I don't have to fear for my life now. Late Seed! And I'm pretty sure even in Gen 1 you do have to fight Brock before you go here. It's just a normal move. Yeah, there's stab on it, but it's not super effective, and that was one hit point. Yeah, it's weird. Despite how much I can like the Pidgeot line, I still overall prefer Fear because they made Pidgey just Pidgeot too defensive, so you try and use it, and then you just see the damage output and be really disappointed in it. Because I think it has a base at 479, and I know that it's the first regional bird. I think it's still a little better than Noctowl, but okay, Swallow at least is very fast to compensate for a Pidgeot really isn't. But we do have Agum now. And then Gen 4 has Staraptor, one of the best. And then, okay, Gen 5 then has Unfezant, which crap the bed. Well, at least, okay, design-wise for one of them, it's not so bad. But then Gen 6 came back with Talonflame and was like, yeah. And then nerfed it in Gen 7. And then... what? Yeah, Gen 8. Corvin had one of the best ones, and then Gen 9. It did have one, even if it's not as early as it normally would be. So yeah, I can understand them not wanting to make it as good as so many others, and it was right to have a Mega. But really? Oh, you can say that all you want. It's not gonna change the fact that you lost. I actually kept that for this game as well, that it doesn't show you who the 8th gym leader is. Odd. I wouldn't understand it for the first game, but weird that there is nothing for. Weird that they kept the same thing for this game. I guess that's why you just play Yellow Legacy, which I've not looked into as much. I saw like Heroes playing many months ago, but I've not actively looked into it to see like how much it improves on everything. Because I do have the list of like for pretty much all the games of like what I would change, while still trying to keep it to its core as much as possible rather than just overhauling the damn thing. Like a lot of the time is just improving Pokemon beta titles and make it like make more sense or have rivalries work better. Especially with Arcanine and Ninetales, how they can still be considered rivalry, like a rivalry situation. But yeah, Arcanine is so much stronger in every field. Okay, it doesn't have Rattle, but it has Intimidate. And despite not focusing in special attack, still has higher special attack than Ninetales. Like, why were they given no buffs? Why was Ninetales not given anything to like get up to 555 as well? I think the best case would be, well, I think speed's good enough as is. You just put into like HP, special attack, and defense really, to put like 10, 10 and then 30. Good thing then it can go up to about 111, which is nearly the same as Arcanine's stuff. Yeah, it would then be just one more than Arcanine's attack stat. Well, the 10 and 10. Let's just check the 19. So I don't look the damn thing. Okay, yeah, that'll be up to what, 85. Yeah, special defense and speed arguably are fine, but just defense up to 85, HP up to 83, and then put special attack up to 100 and 110, 111. That's actually how you. That would be a great way to improve it, but I feel like the only other mon I can think of they even like gave that much of a boost to its stats is like Masquerain, because the stats it has in Gen 7 are a menace, and I really would at some point want to use it. I just have not done any like playthrough involving bugs and or flying types or Gen 3 mons in general. Because if they made it that good, they could not have done it for any others. I mean, many mods you think that have like basic, but it's about 500. Don't either, because it's like 495, 490, closer to 475. Because I'm pretty sure that neither Kings and King and Queen don't have that. They're close to like 490 or something. Right, hold on. one of 3 people right now streaming Pokemon Yellow. I'm tied with Justice Rally 2 and Dirt Smoke. Well, no, Dirt Smoke is on one less, but yeah, it's us 3 keeping this game together. Which is really odd, because it's Pokemon is Gen 1, unless most of the time it's just the game that you watch, not and then learn more of the like behind the scenes about, rather than watch and play. And even then, you just would record, well, not even record it. Sometimes you would, or you just have it be a video instead of a live stream. Because it's likely just the newer Pokemon games that people would want to be playing instead. Unless you're me, well, I don't do that. And I like these. It's much easier to set up. It doesn't require the Switch at all. Actually, we're getting up the mountain. Let me look up. Okay, we can get one. No, we can't get one on the first floor because that's red and blue only. Can get one on B1F between levels 9 and 11, or B2F for level 13. Looking at the moves, it's better to have one at 13 because then we can get one with Stun Spore. And that's on B2F only, 15% of the time, which actually is its most common state. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up which one is B2F. Ah, B2F, the end section, pretty much. Or in my case, if I can find the one that has the I am on the pedestal, then that'll be good enough. Does mean I have to go decently far into the cave, which sucks. But by then I should potentially have a Venusaur, and it will all be fine. I thought having a Venusaur at this point in the game would be great. I really don't like the Vine only has 10 pounds when it's so weak. Similar problem I have with Giga Drain, at least what I had at the start, where it was just a slightly different version of Ancient Power. And both of them only have 5, but at least Ancient Power makes sense because, well, any of them could give you an Omni boost, and Giga Drain, well, you could get a lot of health back. But it still didn't feel like it was enough, so at least they buffed up to 10 and then 75. Because yes, over time, you mean some of the grass moves are actually a lot more worth it. I still wish there was some grass moves that could be like just so powerful that they just neutralize the poison, or add a poisonous effect on it. Because there are those are like stinging nettles, or even the Gimpy tree that are the equivalent of poison, really. So you could have stuff similar to that, where either can poison the opponent, add the poisonous as a so it's grass and poison, or is super effective against other grass types. Because if we can have stuff like Skull that's able to burn, and flying press, which is a dual type move. I'm just saying. You know, it does have some poisonous attributes to it sometimes. Although then again, we do have the aspects of, or is it more on the grassy side or plant? Which is why, oh, there was like an image that splits the two off and it's like, kind of needed because grass seems a bit broad. This coming from the game that has water covered just everything from lakes, rivers, ponds, oceans, seas. Just any body of water. It's not kind of is somewhat of mine is inspired by when MJTV made a video about making rock and ground into just a one earth type. Because I don't know how much it's worth for at least a spin-off. But if like they were wanting to give it a break, if at some point it really did just nosedive and then wanted to wait a few years for it to then come back, then they could do stuff like that. Because it's not on the level of the TCG where they, I think, got rid of the player type entirely. They had it for a few years and realized this is doing nothing. So let's just fuck it up. And I don't know if they did the same for Dragon. And not a lot of the time they did just make quite a few monsters just other types that they normally are not. Because is poison even considered the type? Because I think most of the time the point had just become grass. Because I know there's psychic in there, there's normal, fire, water, electric, dark. I don't know even one for bug iron, that just gets put into grass. I think it's supposed to follow like similar rules of Magic the Gathering. And there's like no dual typing really in the TCG. And then I don't know how to play it. I've never played the TCG Game Boy Color game or even its Japanese exclusive sequel. So I do not know. I've played through quite a few of the guards over the years, but how to actually play it? No, I don't know. When I'm punching over like this, it's like I'm about to say something a bit serious. Look, higher. It's usually just whatever's most comfortable for me, especially with how the table is in respect to me. But I guess I should also talk about the future of the channel in the level, what I will be doing when I get around to finishing Hogwarts Legacy, Sonic Frontiers, and I have not forgotten about the Sword and Shield fan ROM hack. It's just I have many opinions about the game that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I feel like at times it is a bit more difficult than you'd expect. And also I understand that you can't always have customization options, but it is based off the first game that had good options, because Gen 6 was the first one to introduce it and it didn't have enough, and then just got rid of it entirely in all else for some reason, and then Gen 7 had better options but then made the Virgin exclusive, and then Gen 8 made so that you could get any of them in either game. If there were ever updates to it, that would be nice. And also how they did the Dynamax battles, or the raids. Not the biggest fan of those either. Because, yes, I can understand the daily thing and it's the easiest way to get XP. But if you try and play that game with like no experience share being on, no matter how much you try to get levels, you just don't get enough. And often it can feel like you are barely keeping up with the levels. It does feel like it's got some balancing issues to it. I will absolutely complete it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the extra DLC stuff that's baked into it. I'm just gonna do the main story and then move on, but I'll get to that when I finish Frontiers. Cause that's near finished. I know there's a portal waiting for me to go through, but I will get all the remaining collectibles. Because have I got that much to do, even achievement wise? Like, I've only got 2 left. It's just defeat the Guardian types and complete all challenges, and then also explore all of the map. So I am at the point of where it should not take that long to complete Frontiers plus do some of the extra stuff. Well, one piece of the extra stuff, because all the other stuff to do with like the leaderboards and like time attacks, I didn't need to do any of that. That's not achievement related at all. It's another Caterpie. Oh, there's so many of these. Even though it's the correct level to be a Butterfree, but would that be too difficult? Would I be expecting too much? That would be interesting. Because yeah, Pokemon's never had difficulty options. It often doesn't, because it's already in the game. I want to say it's on the level of how Dark Souls is, of like, the difficulty options are already there. Do you want to use an overpowered weapon or do you not? Or to use light armor, or medium, or heavy, or no shield? Like, it is often just you are the one who chooses how difficult it is. Most of the time, because there's no doubt cases where stuff is just out of your control and it's hard, no matter what you do. That's just called a brick wall. I mean, especially in this, you know, making it more difficult by being excluded to one type and not knowing the most powerful one, just having 6 of the same one, which is boring. Or using one mon exclusively, which I've done before. But there'd be another one. I maybe saw the fact that we've had an evolution before another ones is the track record that I expect of a game like this. Yeah, those are some decent stats I'm seeing there. Funny that we have our speed higher than our attack and defense, especially because I mean attack was the only part that we've really used and we've had no poison moves at all, because Hypersol really does not get many specials. Like, doesn't get poison sting, doesn't get sludge bomb's not a thing. Okay, poison power would be like the only other thing. Okay, it does get toxic, but in terms of just poison type moves in general, because if I look up, oh, probably that's not helpful. No, I wish there was just. There's no system in game to be like, okay, these are the moves that were made in every single game unless I do it from Gen 1. But even then, yeah, it will show them, but then if they've been updated, it will show the updated versions of the moves, not how they were. Because yeah, it will not just show the newer version only, because I'm looking at it. And I saw toxic and it's like, well, it's 85% accurate, but it shows us 90, because all it does is show the newest versions of the moves. At least on Wikipedia, when you select Gen 1 Lancer for a Pokemon, it will show what it actually is meant to be. I know you can't see any of it, but yeah, it doesn't get acid. No acid armor, which would be impressive. No poison gas, gets poison powder, that'll 20. No poison sting. No sludge, no smog, no, but doesn't get toxic, 0 TN. Yeah, it just doesn't really get much. Like it didn't do all it did and introduced was one new move, a sludge bomb, which is good. But the poison typing, despite how popular it was not one for good move. Like, sludge is the best it has at 65 power and like what high chance of poison or even just go with toxic. But sludge is the best attacking one, and that's just bad. It's likely why a lot of like poison types in this game, even it's like a secondary typing, and it's only for defensive purposes. Because on like any Nino King set, poison is nowhere to be seen. Because what Earthling is gonna be there no matter what, or even Horn Drill, and then the elemental moves, but no poison. Because I don't think it gets any good moves. Yeah, let's save here and try to get to B2F. Well, actually, it's in two different spots because either. Well, I think the best one is for where Faith would be in the later games. Oh, hi, Zubat. Yeah, get to about 20 past 7. And then I will end it there and then I'm gonna have my food. Which I'm gonna see if I can cook up some pasta with chicken. Is it this one I can? Is it? Wait, actually, no, I think this is no matter what, because it's on the inside, so it's a third one. Where is it? Okay, in Gen 1, any like Buffet, Zubat, Paras, and Juju could be encountered on B1A. I only agree, only Paras can appear on B1A. And they didn't try to go for like, any version exclusive thing, they just. It's the same encounter no matter which game you have of Zubat, Juju, Paras, and Clefairy. I guess we're not including yellows, I kind of kept the same thing. But in this game they made Clefairy much more common. Like on the floor I'm on now it's 10%. And also in yellow Sandshrew is even possible on the first floor. Which is cool. But yeah, it just shows how many small little differences there are for every game to make it slightly different. Even if a lot of time you could say the games don't do that enough. Great, so all I've got is this long stretch, because otherwise I happen to have an encounter, unless I'm gonna get no encounters here. I've not gotten one encounter. Wait, hold on. No, I can just go from here. I didn't put any repel though. But there's no encounters here. There we go. So it's not the most common thing in the world. So that's 55. Up from previously 49. The fairy is now 10%. And Juju is 20. So I don't know if it's one of those where the edges just give off no encounters. For some reason, part of me wants it that somehow could be a thing. Generally, it does feel like a game that would actively be the case. Oh, that's Paris, as I was trying to look up the calendar. Yeah, it doesn't work on grass types in this game. The fact that they got that nailed down. And of course I missed tackle right afterwards. Does that also mean Sunspell's not going to work because that's also a grass move? No, it does actually work. So I guess it's a paralysis effect rather than the typing of the move. It actually survived it. Are you serious? Paralysis pass rate is not that high. Well, not that good. Well, it's 190 if anything. Also, yeah, the music does not change until I press A. But that is a Paris not set. And arguably it's not going to be that long until a Paris can evolve at like level 24. At that point, it gets Leech Life, and that's it. I'm pretty sure Parasect is the same moves at the same levels. Is it? No, it gets them at like 3 levels later. So I have a Spore at 27 or 30. And then it does not get slashed until 39. Oh my god. Great. So, to make this as good as can be, I'm going to keep Paris as a Paris until level 34. Those underground to gnaw on tree roots. Mushrooms on its back absorb most of the nutrition. Right, there is our parasite. With just Scratch and Sunspore. That's definitely interesting. Okay, 30 speed compared to 13. Ouch. And I have no paralyze heal. Well, the good thing I'm going all the way back. Fight some trainers I didn't before so I could at least get a bit more on the level side of things. Because I'm not going to be able to fight these trainers again until way later in the game. I went the wrong way. I went the wrong way. Well, if I lose this fight, actually I really shouldn't, it's a Magnemite. The fact that I have no way to heal my paralysis is the worst. Yeah, it's electric type, but it's gonna be paralyzed. Have fun with that one. But it's just pure electric. I only have an hour left to go. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to switch train my mat because the experience hall in this game is terrible. And there's no standard experience until Gen 2, and I've been fully paralyzed twice in a row. This is ridiculous. Well, I foresaw that potentially is, and it happened both times. That's a lot more orange than I was expecting. Even for the Hisuian version of the Mon. Why do you need to go with Screech when it's a special attacker? Well, I guess it does get explosion. But it's not like it's stab or anything. That would be really interesting if it was. Oh yeah, Gen 1, so that the names for the class, well, for the trainer names are so limited that they are just their class. Well, they are just their trainer class. They have no actual name. No. I'm going to lose it. Oh my god. I don't want to lose half my money. Because it is half in this game. It's brutal. It's a struggle to get money in the first place with no amulet point. And later on, the only way to get more money is the Elite Four over and over again. Oh. Yeah, I don't like that. Just I'm gonna compare the level moves to how it's in Gen 3 to at least see how much more it even improves. Right, so in Gen 3 it would have had poison powder as well, but it does not get slashed until, well, it actually gets it 3 levels higher. but gets spawned earlier by 2 levels, Scythe by 1, and does get additional moves like Giga Drain all at 43. But at least growth is earlier. No, it's more, but it still doesn't feel as substantial as it should be. That is a Gen 1 and I'm not sure. Even by Gen 3, which I love, it's not as much of an improvement as you would want. Like, it's already bad. It already starts off as bad, and it's like a marginal improvement. Like, yes, there is at least some improvement noticeable there. It's not enough. It's like an extra 10% effort. It isn't enough because the moves are not close enough, and you're just still gonna make it so that the Pokemon cannot learn the good moves until it is way too late. It's level 43 for Giga Drain. Yep, that's disabled Gen 1. It's a random move. And I don't think it can really be used again. So at least this Jigglypuff is better than the original version where it was horrific. Well, horrific and terrifying. That's how I would describe it. Oh great, one is asleep and it's gonna be for the whole time. Wait, is the game out? It's fine like a Glamour is not come out yet. Like a Zero Dark, I swear, has it? It's on 19th of May. But I am in the group of I do not like channels at all that just decide I'm going to upload the entirety of the game really early on with no commentary. It's like, why decide to spoil people? Because I don't understand. Because I think, was it more the Nintendo stuff than that just happened to? I would generally just be like, no. Because if I ever made a game, I wonder how the fuck they got it if they somehow managed to do that. Because I'm asleep again. Because the fact that it takes an entire turn to wake up is agonizing. I don't know if for some people it doesn't bother them, but it's more, why do I need to fucking see it? I just wouldn't allow it. I know that on the level of how Bethesda were, where they didn't give reviewers Coffee League, like, well, doing 2016 till like the night of the release or something, to try and make it fair for everyone. That could be taken a bit, but I would just be on the level of you can play it for review purposes, but anyone wanting to upload it to YouTube is gonna need permission from me. If you do it without that, I'm just gonna try the video down. I'm just being a dick. Especially when some of them give like review copies to people that do not fucking deserve it in any way. I'm not saying that I do, it's just to give it to certain people. It's like, why? Why are they the ones allowed to have it? Because this is bringing back to a thing from years ago. maybe in FIFA 20 or something, where one of the side, then Josh, who had been playing the game since like 99 and had a Footpanda account, was never given a free code for any FIFA game, and yet somehow that was the year that Vic happened to get one. And then when it was given to, but when Vic tried to give it a shot, it didn't work because it was locked in his account. Really, Vic, the one that is famous for the Learning to FIFA series, but at the same time not given to someone who's made FIFA content way before most people. I'm just saying, Parasite has not had a single level up, and yet I managed to get one Thesaurus. Every time I'm saying it, it's like I'm trying to say Thesaurus. You know, as in the book. Or if you want extra words. You're like, here's this word, here's many different versions, many other words you could use in replacement of it. Because I know I'm not just gonna use a Paras because it's not strong enough with just scratch and poison types everywhere where it's called weak 2. Because, oh yeah, Parasect is gonna be used on the team actively. Because, well, I got rid of the page. Because it is, to my knowledge, the only member of the team to learn Dig. And that's gonna be huge. Like Spore, Splash, and Dig. Yeah. Lethality right there. Am I even gonna need Soul Sands as much? Because, well, E/Slash is gonna be critting all the time within the load speed that Parasect has. It might be needed. I mean, if no one else is going to be using it. No, actually. Because the rest of special attack and Big Juba, even though it has Razor Link, it's not physical, so it can't use it. Oh, it's level 14 Sparrow. I was not expecting that. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, no. Oh, I'm faster than it though. Why is it special? Not good when it's faced with a crit. Damage without the crit. Not enough. So I guess that's actually more the reason of that's why I get more XP on Soros, because Parasite just dies to any hit. I mean, it was going to anyways against the pick, so I'm not gonna put that against it. Yeah, it's weak. Parasite does not out much with his stat of 4 or 5, and has enough nothing. Okay, yeah, it was remembered again in Legends Arceus because it just got angry. But the fact that it's had no stat buffs, no new evolution, I wouldn't have blinded it. I know it's a bot. It just adds like an extra 50 to all the stats from beginning to end. You know what I mean? Not all of them, like both powers and power to get like above of 450 or around 50, and then you make it so that the fully evolved one has like 525 or something. and then get rid of the bug, because the bug is actually not there anymore. Oh, I'm gonna actually need to buy some stuff. They could do all this, so many great ideas, and like, no, let's make it so that Charizard has yet another form, or Pikachu has yet another form. Because I can love the franchise, and I can still hate the people behind it. Unless it really is the high world being like, no, we want you. I can't even buy it. Oh, really? That sucks. I mean, that is really bad that I can't buy a repel at all. Oh, fuck. Let's try to clear as much of Mount Moon as possible whilst getting the levels. See, if I had an experience share right now, plus an Everson, I would just put Paris in the back and then just not do anything with him until we're level 34. At least when one gets the right moves. Yeah, I can't do that. No hard items. No experience here, so it's painful. The only one being able to get a Pokemon with Dig. I could know how you're doing. I mean, would you prefer it if I was stretched? Because I mostly did that just to close the gaps and so there wasn't as much, but then it would look a bit weird as soon as, like, I've had some stuff be cut off or something. Yeah, that's water gun, which is an odd TM, I must say. Yeah, it's really shit. But I have a grass type right here that can't do a single thing to Geodude. Not even, well, if Poison was a thing, I couldn't. That could definitely be helpful, but doesn't even exist. Well, how do we know? Would it really been that much of a noticeable difference, just a few pounds? Even though I generally haven't been. Fuck, I'll do that. I have no need for your eyeless screams. Oh my god, really? You're gonna do this to me? You absolute bastard. Just let me escape before I take away your mouth. But if a level 9 was a bit of a struggle, then I'm gonna have to switch. Well, both of my mons are weak to bug. Because I don't think the bug resists itself. That's the thing. I know that it resists fine and that. But also somehow I managed to get an encounter on the same step that I should have, oh I don't know, gotten a battle. See, that would not be a setup for a glitch in another area of the game. Or would not even happen in later ones, because the trainer battle would just take priority. But, you know, the coding in this, it's like this, just held on by some string and a bit of duct tape. It's the best comparison. It's gonna have poison sting, isn't it? Not that I want to use it though, which is odd. Yeah, as I did say to you, once this stream ends in about 12 minutes, I will give you my schedule. Because I feel like I'm not going to be as free as I would want, especially with the streaming stuff until afterwards. And like after the 10th. Depending on what happens then. But at least we got one that will level 14, it's not going to matter much. Okay, yeah, nails are like colourful though, Kakuna, but the sprite just... I don't know what it is, it seems a bit off. Also, I don't know if this Kakuna can do anything more than just... Well, not even tackle harden. So let's just scratch it to death and be really, really slow. But it does mean that Parasite gets some more XP. Well, that actually look quite beautiful outside, I must say. But you're not going to be able to see, because I don't want any of you trying to dox my location. Because I can and will hunt you down. Liam Neeson style. Although if I was really wanting to make so that that could happen in the first place, I would just turn the webcam off. You know, like this. How much more? 431. 290. Is that just because Paris ends up needing more XP? Is that actually the case? Medium fast. Medium slow, so I guess it's more in the earlier levels. It's all a lot need less, but later on it'll be faster for Parasect. I don't know, I'm not checking. Clefairy! You're likely to have some stuff to be funky. Okay, there was no need for that. There was none. See, I don't know if the battery is glitched. I think it is just attack and does it, well, would it even count? Or would another that have to be lowered? Actually, no, it wouldn't work because I don't have the other ones. I don't want that. Just fuck off. Time and insomnia would actually be a good thing. Come on, crit. Nah. At least you were paralyzed enough, which is rare, because in my game it feels like they are never fully paralyzed as much as you would want them to be. Oh, at some point I'm gonna have to organize this. Because, yeah, it's Gen 1, so this is a limited bag of like 20 items, and everything just gets put into it. Meaning that you can and most likely will end up soft locking yourself if you're not careful. Because to my knowledge, anything can be tossed as like nothing is regarded as a key item. That wasn't until Gen 2. At least I think. I think that it's full on possible to just remove stuff like surf or something. I'm not wanting to test it out when it comes to it, but I'm just saying because it's Gen 1, it's full on possible. And I've gone through enough to be like, I'm not gonna do that. It's bad that it can be done in the first place. And bad that it wasn't fixed in the yellow version. Or red candy. That's not going to be useful for a while. I don't know, I'm not making it out of my room before the stream ends in about 5 minutes. Would have been sooner! Well, I didn't mention this earlier. However, when I was trying to set up soundboard stuff, for some reason, some glitch happened on the website, making it so you couldn't change the global settings for like what all of the sound alerts would appear as. Like what they're supposed to appear with the orange effect. It just would not allow me to change it for all of them. There's one. So I had to change each of them individually, and there's some sort of not work. Is it missing or does it not work? No, it does actually work. But I had to change each sound alert individually to the correct one, and that was really annoying sometimes because anytime I tried to like do the override for it, what happened is that I would enable it and then the site would refresh immediately and just disable it and say it's been updated, and then I'd do it again and then it would disable it and then force me to re-enable it, and it did that for every single one. Oh, come on. I did do that for all 30 of them. I almost skipped one as well doing all that. But I don't know what the fuck happened why the global override didn't want to work. Because even though it was there for me to select, I would click on it and it would not actively select it. I know what you mean, because I did like the orange one. I didn't want the basic bitch one. Well, Camille, that's completely fine that I just read about sound alerts. It's not like many people use them, but for someone like me, it was a ball ache, and not every streamer tells you anything behind the scenes. Either because they just don't think it's interesting or don't think about problems that I think about it. And then every single stream at some point, I do end up talking about it. I mean, either a topic to talk about, but also to let my frustrations out. Because if it was really annoying, it was kind of why the stream was actually delayed by quite a bit. Because I was ready to go about 5 to 5, and then by the time I realized what I had to sort out, like it took about 10 plus minutes to fix. But that's fine, it's finally over, and no sign of a level up. Not if it needs 510 to get to level 16. God, you a needy parasite. Well, I guess that means your name is actually very fitting. You are a parasite and you need a lot to be fed. Shall we have one more battle before we end the stream? Where I'm going to be returning tomorrow. 7, I think it said, or at least 6 PM. Because I think what's going to happen is that I'm going to get home, have food, and then stream for 2 hours. Because that's how I'm going to get consistency I'm going to be able to do more daily streams. Because that was sort of a benefit of moving out, where I would be in a position to do that more often. I mean, yeah, all the money I'm going to be by myself because of how the schedules are and all that, but it's not like the longer ones are going away, because there's going to be a fucking long one on Sunday and Wednesday. So prepare if you get your energy drinks for the Wednesday one, because I get home, it's going to start at 9 PM and I don't think I'm going to be stopping until 4 in the morning or something, or even past that, because the day off, well, no, I have to give some break because I do have to go to doctors on that day. But like 3-4 AM. But that being about throughout, this girl has had 2 months that are going to be joining my team within the next stream of this, which is going to be ages away. That was just an inevitable. Because if I've got 3 projects left to finish before this one can start, and one's just going to take around no matter what. One's nearly finished, and the other one, because it's Hogwarts Legacy, is just going to take a while. Yes, we can end it here. 2 hours recording wise, which is normally at the point when Twitch would be saying this is the minimum that you need to stream to get more viewers, but I'm sorry, I have the single time that I need to keep track of. So I'm going to save it here and return tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be really fun for me because I got a deep clean session essentially to do, because there was nowhere else for me to fit. At least it does mean I'm not having to actively close down my section in a way, or where I'm gonna be, but it does mean I have to be there for 8 AM. Well, at least I'm not saying it's late, it means that by the time I get back, it's not like I get back about... It's not like tomorrow... Yeah, it's not like what normally happens where I get home for 8 PM, I have no chance to do fucking anything, and it would try to just be get back and then head straight for bed. Yeah, we shall see. So... you'll be able to see what the schedule is when I end the stream. It should be listed as Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know, it's only Frontiers actually, because the plan might, if I can do it fast enough, is to absolutely 100% it in that stream. Because I already did the story. It's just collecting all the medals and stuff. That's it. But yeah. Ciao for now. See you tomorrow.